Hello YouTube and sports cards collectors, this is Eric J and welcome to the channel. This video we're going to be showing some cards that I for the most part collected as a youth and mean something to me because they're of my favorite player in Robin Yount. There's a couple of cards I picked up since I got back into collecting, but the majority of these I got as a kid. So without hesitation, we're just going to walk through these cards. First one is Yount's rookie card from 1975, the 1975 Topps. This is one of the few cards I did pick up after I started collecting again. Wanted it because I wanted to have a run of all of the Topps cards from when Robin Yount played. So that's what 1975 Topps looks like. Next one is our 1976 Topps. Pretty nice looking card. You know, not the best condition. I'm not that concerned about condition. Just more interested in having some of these older cards from players I really enjoyed as a kid. Next up is 77. I like those uniforms. And then the 1978. And the last of the cards from the 70s, 1979 Topps. And 1975 Topps is actually the earliest cards that I've got in my personal collection, and I don't exactly have very many 1970s cards other than the ones I just showed here. Never was interested in going back that far, as I was more interested in getting players that I was watching when I was a kid. It's the 1980 Robin Yount. I think most folks in 1980 Topps are chasing after the Rickey Henderson. I actually do have the Rickey Henderson rookie, but Robin Yount was the player I was more interested in growing up in Northern Illinois. Wasn't a Cubs fan, which is I guess unusual for where I grew up at, but enjoyed watching Yount play when I had the chance to do so. It's 81 Topps. As a kid, I'd peruse over a lot of these stats and just look at them constantly, I guess like a lot of kids did. Actually, how my parents got me to learn how to read was reading box scores in the backs of baseball cards, because I used to ask about them all the time because I was so interested in sports, even from a young age, baseball in particular. Here's 1982. I also enjoyed that a lot of the Topps cards had little tidbits of trivia or information in a lot of their older cards, or at least a lot of these cards that I collected. And 83. It's one of the years that I actually have quite a few of. Trade a lot of the other stars, the Ryan Sandbergs, and even though 83 would have been Sandberg's rookie, some of the later Sandberg cards for, Yount cards. So I'd end up with a stack of them at times. Here's the back of this card. $1984. Again, while a lot of my friends that I was trading with were chasing after the Don Mattingly from this year, I'd go after the Brewers like Robin Yount. And the 1985. 1985 was the first year I started collecting cards. My parents used to buy me packs here and there as they went to the grocery shopping. This one I traded for a little bit later because I guarantee you I didn't keep cards in that good a shape when I first started. And same was true for 1986. I only got a few cards here and there. You know, my parents would get them when they're at the grocery store or whatnot and share them with me. Notice with Yount that the 86 card is the first year that he's noted as an outfielder. For those that don't know much about Yount's career, he ended up getting hurt around 1985 and with a shoulder injury and had to move to the outfield. So first half of his career he was primarily a shortstop. Second half he was primarily a center fielder for the Brewers. And he actually won the MVP 2 different years. The first one was after 1982 when the Brewers made the World Series. And the second time was in 1989. Now 87 Topps, this is one of my favorite card designs for Topps. It has a lot of nostalgia for me because I collected a lot of these cards. Yeah, you know, a lot of folks would have been chasing the McGuire, the Canseco's, Barry Bonds, some of those types of cards in there. Not me. Got a whole stack of Robin Yount. Then continuing with the overproduced cards, it's 1988 Topps. And then 89. 1989 was the year that, like many of us when we were young collectors, Ken Griffey Jr. was introduced, and Upper Deck was also introduced this year. So while I was still getting a few Robin Yount cards, that's when I started really getting into my second player, which is Ken Griffey Jr. Got a few of those cards that maybe I'll show in a future video. Not a huge collection, but you know, just a few that excuse me, that I enjoyed as a kid. And on to 1990. And then the 91. So we're getting towards the tail end of Yount's career. By the time 92 rolled around, I was getting close to the end of when I really was collecting cards. 94 was the last year I collected any significant number of cards, which is also a strike year. So also about the time that I started getting more interested in other sports, basketball in particular, though I never really collected many cards for other sports. Here's the 93 Topps. So 93 is the Yount's last season, and he had a 1994 Topps card, which is his last Topps card. I loved about this card is that it has stats from his entire career. Always love some of these later Topps cards when you have players, you know, near the end of, or at the end or near the end of their career, where you could see their entire stat line. You know, before the internet days, you'd be looking at almanacs or backs of baseball cards to get a lot of that information, where today we can just find it on places like Baseball Reference. But anyhow, that's happens to walk through 20 years of Topps designs for Robin Yount cards. I think I'll end the video here, and I look forward to creating more videos and sharing them with y'all. If you enjoyed watching this video, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, and comment if you feel it's worth it. We'll look forward to visiting with the community in the future. Bye.